YouTube? It's Trey again. Figured I would do another video, and here we are. So, this time I figured I would let you know a little bit about the other side of things. Since in my last video I gave you a nice little rundown of how I ended up here in the Philippines. But what I didn't really talk about was the personal side and the bad side that made me end up here. And so when I went through that and I thought about things, I was like, I really need to put that out there too. I want it to be as transparent as possible. So here we are. And I figured at this point, you guys seem to want to know. So I figured I would put it out here like this, Yes, I came over here. I changed my life. I changed my perspective. I saw things that I didn't seem to see back home where I was at in the United States. And I think personally, I had hit rock bottom. And the reason I think that is because I went through a whole bunch of different things in my life. And when I look back at it, and I pulled up some of my old pictures, which I'm going to show you right here. As you can see, I had gained a whole bunch of weight. I had hit rock bottom. I didn't do anything. I became a hermit. I definitely was not taking care of myself. I had a bunch of scares happening to me medically. I had went through a back surgery, had a back fusion done. My body is full of metal and plates and pins and screws and all kinds of things like that. But I had pretty much become a hermit and tried to avoid everyone, due to my experiences that how things were there. And as you can see, obviously, I've lost weight. I've lost a lot of weight. I was at 235 pounds the last time I checked, and back then, and I think I stopped really tracking it at that point. I had gotten to that point that I didn't care anymore. I ended up just sitting by myself. I was watching YouTube videos, eating food, just avoiding everyone. And that was not a good thing. One day, I woke up and my eyes were blurry. Over like a 5-day period, because I was unsure what was going on and I didn't realize it at the time, I almost went blind. I couldn't see. I went to the store, I bought glasses to try to help. I just didn't understand. Went to the optometrist to get, some glasses maybe, or have my eyes checked, things of that nature. And what ended up happening is that I couldn't keep a prescription. It would change day by day. Everything was just blurry. It got to the point where I couldn't even see to drive. And this really was all in the time frame of like a week. And I really had an issue and I was unsure what it was. Well, come to find out, I ended up having type 2 diabetes, and it was not a good thing. And you can go blind from it, and there's a lot of other problems that go along with that. I was basically killing myself, and I didn't even know it. And although I needed to make changes, it was a real eye opener, and it scared the crap out of me. I couldn't even get into a doctor to see a doctor for 3 months. I knew I had problems, but I was trying. And I had figured out that there was a problem, and in my trying to do some research and figure out what these things, that whole thing popped up. Well, I went out and got one of those little prick test things that you use for check your blood sugars and things like that, and it was sky high. I mean, by their standards in their medical books and things like that, I could have died like really fast. That's how bad it was, and I didn't even realize this. So not only is that my blood sugars are sky high, I can't see. I'm completely overweight. Like, it was bad. And I was always in pain because of the things that was going wrong, like my back and my arms, my head was always pounding. All these things was going on. I was frustrated with people and life, and basically I just wanted to avoid everyone. And those things take a toll on you. But I personally decided to make a change. And the biggest thing for me at that particular moment was to be able to see. I've had perfect vision my whole life, and all of a sudden I can't see nothing. And it really happened so rapidly that it was scary. I don't know, maybe you've never experienced anything like that, but it was very scary to me. And in going through that and doing things, I was able to get on the phone with a telemed, was able to order some metformin to help bring my glucose levels down and get those blood sugars back into normal. I cut out all the starches, all the carbs, all the bad stuff that was really bad for me. And that was one of my things that I would do because I couldn't get into a doctor to see him. The wait was just forever. And my only other option was to go to emergency room, which I almost did, but I didn't. I handled it myself. And when I did that, I was able to bring down those glucose levels by monitoring with the little meter that you prick your finger and test your blood. And I was also able to do things, and my eyesight had kind of stabilized. Still blurry, and that's because of all the sugars that had collected in the back of my retinas and eyeballs, and that's what they were doing, and it was messing with my nerve. Well, I kept doing that. I was walking around doing things, and sometimes I used a cane, and sometimes I had a little riding scooter and that I rode around on. But for the most part, I tried to get up, I tried to move, I tried to do things. And that was all real scary. And I was doing these things to try to help. I knew that if I could get those blood sugars down, that my eyesight could possibly return. In about 3 months, and that's what it took, about 3 months solid of taking the metformin that I got through telemed without seeing a doctor, wearing glasses, and moving around and trying to burn off those sugars and those calories and things. Strangest thing, it was really weird. One day, I woke up, opened my eyes, and I didn't need glasses anymore. It took about 3 months, but to get it back to that point, but it was almost like a miracle. That was after me doing all the things that I did by myself, without a doctor, without anything other than a telemed appointment. I didn't need those glasses anymore. It's the craziest thing. But I needed to do something in my life, and I needed to make these things and these changes whether I wanted to or not, if I wanted to basically live longer, because I was putting myself in an early grave. And in doing so, those medical issues started to slowly disappear and they were getting under control. There was a couple other things, but thought that was pretty major. So, in doing that, see here, I came here, I looked like that. I was super overweight my first trip over here when I first got here. But coming over here, as I told you in my last video, it made a change in me. I saw the difference in the people. They treated me good. They respected me. Or at least that's how it felt. I'm not saying they're all like that. I'm not saying that is the way this place is completely. But understand my experience that I had. And yes, I know people change and things like that. The more you're here, you see different things. But understand, it made a change in my life and it was a good thing. So here we are, I've been over here close to a year now. And I went from 235 pounds down to 160 pounds, about 74 kilos if you're watching this from the Philippines. And the funny thing about it is that I don't really watch what I eat anymore. And I don't gain any weight. I don't do anything in particular to I don't know how you would put it, but if I want to go out and eat something or eat at a restaurant or even have a beer or a drink somewhere, I do. I don't not live life and enjoy things. But what I did do is that, I made a change in my life. I got out there. I started to socialize. I walk places, do things. Started this YouTube channel, which is a good point to bring up, because a lot of you tell me that, oh, you're just doing this for views. No, it's not for views. This is a hobby. This is something that keeps me active. It gives me a reason to do things. I don't get paid for it. I could have monetized this and do it for money if I wanted to, last month, even though I've been doing this for 2 months. So obviously it is not. I don't want a job. If it's not fun or if I don't enjoy it, then I'm not going to do it. But this does give me a reason to get up, get out, move, do things, meet people, talk to people. And that's important because when you hit that rock bottom, you don't know what's going on and you don't know it's even happening most of the time. So, among the other things that was going on, my health was a big issue and I needed to change that. And coming over here and giving me a different perspective on life and seeing how different it was. And honestly, it has helped me with my health in a lot of ways. So that's a good thing for me. Well, there's other things, but I don't really want to keep going in too much on these topics because you make them too long. People don't watch them. But if you are watching, you have to make that change if you hit rock bottom. And you need to recognize that you hit rock bottom and that you're not doing anything to help yourself. And for me, my experience, it's my life. I made those changes and this was the result. I lost a bunch of weight. I'm getting out there. I'm socializing. I'm not being a hermit anymore. I'm making friends, talking to people. I have a reason to get up in the morning. And that's important. I'm not telling you it's all, rainbows and sunshine and all that other stuff, because that's just not true. There are goods and bads to everything. But for me, It's more good than bad. All right, guys. I will talk to you later. Have a good one. Peace until next time.